I heard was the police sirens coming again. Baby, I'm high just from coming in the classroom.
If you're looking for a winner, looking for attention, looking for supreme, looking for a queen, just roll with me. If you're looking for a winner, looking for attention, looking for supreme.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another day with Shay. If you're new here, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. But if you're OG, you're part of the Greenwood gang. What it do? How are you? Okay, y'all. So I am finally back with more teacher story times, and I'm super excited to be back, baby, because like I said, I got a whole notebook full of teacher story times. I literally used to document my day. Although I'm no longer in the classroom, I still am going to be sharing my stories, because what happened as a teacher, like, y'all know the crazy. Like, literally, there was just a a first grader that shot their teacher. We can't make this up. So I also want to incorporate like other people's teacher stories into my channel. So if you're a teacher and you have some like teacher stories, be on the lookout, because I will be accepting like your stories to talk about and react to on my channel as well. And so yeah, I also want to start advice columns and girl talks. Before we get started, as y'all know, I am the owner, founder, and CEO of The Mane Attraction. Can y'all see the products here? We're an all natural hair care, skincare, and body care brand. We're the best on the market. So if you're trying to grow your hair, glow up your skin, work on your body care, then we got you. We have all natural herbs and ingredients. So we're the best on the market, period. The link will always be in the description box. Use code YouTube for money off your first order. Okay, so this is story time, and this is when I was teaching high school, of a time we caught a student selling candy. Can we say, I don't know if I can say drugs. Like, I'm going to just say candy, because I don't want to get demonetized. You know, they be on the chat. They be on it. So, instead of the D-R-U-G-S word, I'm going to say candy, okay? Or Mary. We can say Mary Jane. We'll say Mary Jane. Because that's what it was. And then it was like pills, but I don't really know. For the pills, I'm going to say candy, because I don't do drugs. I don't know what they're called. So, it was my first year of teaching, and I taught in like a more, it wasn't a white picket fence school, and I said it all the time. It wasn't like a white picket fence private school, like, you know, and if you're a teacher, then you know, we have students, a couple of students that smoke weed, or, I don't say weed, that smoke Mary Jane, right? That smoke Mary, and, you know, do candy. Candy as in pills, keep up. The kids that was, we even had a couple of kids that were on, you know, and we sent off to rehab. I know one kid we did send off to, well, we let them go because he was like basically non-functional, and it was just something that was passed down, like he learned from his parents and that he would actually do with his parents. So he ended up getting, that kid ended up getting taken from his parents. That's another story time. Y'all want to talk about it, I will, but we're not talking about that. And if you're a teacher, then you know a lot of the students come in and they smell like, ooh, they smell like Mary Jane. And with me, you can't, as a teacher, there's not really much that you can do, because you don't know their story and you can't really judge them by that, because it may be their parents or their grandparents that do Mary Jane, and they just around it and they have to deal with the smell. They have to smell like that. And that's something that I was always mindful of, to not judge, because it doesn't mean that they're themselves doing it, but if they're put in an environment that's all they're around all day, every day, they're gonna come to school smelling like this. So we had a couple of kids, some of them who did smoke Mary Jane, and some who just had parents who smoked heavily, whether they were in the car with them or lived in a house with them. So they had that smell that clings to them, and I hate that so bad for them. I hate that so bad for them. But one day we had this student, we're gonna call him Darian. So, and of course I'm not using real names, real stories, but of course I'm changing out the names. I don't even know if it's still a legal thing going on. I know he ended up being on probation, but I'm gonna use the name Darian. So Darian was a kid who was a problematic, quiet kid. He wasn't like Lewis. Like Lewis, you know how you have students who are bad and they try to purposely be bad to prove that they're bad? That's Lewis, right? And then you have the kids who are bad, who don't really try to be bad, and they don't want really to know, people to know that they're bad. Darian was that type of kid. So He would always come in and smell heavily like Mary Jane, and we would just be like, me and some other teachers were talking, because we try to figure out like if there is something that they're doing. Like he would go to the bathroom and then come back and smell like Mary Jane, and I'm like, why is the smell so strong, so potent? It's like as if he literally would go in the bathroom and smoke Mary Jane. So one day I was on my planning period. They had all left out, and this day in particular I noticed that like he had like a sack with him. So he had his book bag and he had like a black sack. Y'all know those drawstring bags? I have one somewhere, but those drawstring bags he would carry it around with him, and every time he walked past me it would smell so strong. I was not, baby, I'm high just from coming in the classroom. When you walk by me, I'm high. I'm instantly high. That's how strong it was. And so with that, so on my plane, I was telling my teacher, I'm like, it smells really strong. I think it's something I think he has something in his bag. And so she was like, okay, I'm gonna keep a lookout for it when he come to my class. So she was my teacher bestie. We'll call her Miss B. So when he ended up going to Miss B's class, she would like walk by him and see if she could smell. She was like, yeah, it is a bit stronger than normal today. I don't know like what is going on. I was on break when she was texting me at this time, and he was in her class and he had asked to go to the bathroom. So once he went to the bathroom, she texted me. She was like, he just went to the bathroom or something like that, and there was other kids with him. Sorry guys, I need a snack. Moral of the story, he ended up going to a bathroom one day. I think it was like, it started on like it was a week-long span, and he was toting around the bag and he was smelling extra strong. So we had suspicions. We notified the security guard, and he noticed it, but he didn't have a right to like search him or anything. Like, I don't know, something weird. And so it was a very weird situation because technically we couldn't do anything about it. One day another student came and told us that it was some kids smoking in the restroom. They said they usually smoke during, I don't remember if it was like 3rd or 5th period. It was like 3rd or 5th period that they usually go in there and smoke, and that they also smoke in the weight room. So all the teachers were on alert. Like all the teachers knew, but the students didn't know that we knew. And so one day they were in the I think it was after football or something like that, went into the weight room after everybody was gone, and one of the coaches actually caught them. So he caught them smoking. He didn't find the sack at this time, so they got suspended for a long time. They ended up getting suspended for like, I don't know if it was like 2 or 3 weeks. The police ended up, our security guard is on campus, ended up getting involved, and he arrested them that day. After the coach had caught them or whatever, he notified the security guard, and then of course that me and the coaches, like everybody like this, to be honest, and a lot of the teachers are in group messages with like certain teachers. So we was in a group message, and he was telling me he was telling us that he just busted the boys for smoking weed in the weight room. And it's just like, how dumb can you be? Like, why would you do that at school? Why would you? First of all, I don't know. I got a lot to say about that. But we was like, okay, what happened? Mind you, I'm on my break period at this point. I ain't got nothing better to do than be nosy. So I go. Y'all know I'm so nosy. So I go on my break period. I'm with my laptop looking like I'm finna do some work, baby. Look like I'm finna go pull somebody out the class. You know, like during our planning period, if we have students who owe us work or who are behind, we can go pull them kids and bring them to our class, baby. I'm going making up stuff. Ain't nobody missing no work in my class, first of all. And if they was, I'm not gonna get them in my spare time off. I did that day. So a lot of the kids knew. So I walked my happy little self to the gym, and I got about 2 students out of there, and then we walked past, like the way the school is set up, we had to pass like by the cafeteria to get to the weight room. So the weight room, and then you can see the field from over there, like the football field where they were. And so we go through the cafeteria pretending like we looking for, you know, I'm still my laptop, baby. I had my little laptop, my pen like this, you know, pretending like I'm looking for something. Wasn't looking for nothing but the police, trying to see what's going on outside. trying to see what's going on. And so I seen, at this point, by the time I ended up getting near the weight room, it was about 4 police cars. And I'm looking, you know, all the students are like going crazy in the cafeteria, and the teachers are trying to calm them down, sit them down or whatever. So me, it's another teacher. Like, one thing about me, I didn't know somebody else to do it first, then I'm go. So it was one teacher, she didn't have a class either. I think it was either the art teacher, she was like the art or choir, I don't really remember, but she didn't have a class during that planning period either. So she like walked out to see what was going on, baby. I'm right behind her. I told the kids that I had, you know, I had the 2 kids I just got from the gym. I had them sit there. I actually pulled one more kid from the cafeteria. Me and my teacher, Miss B, I got one of her kids. I was like, okay, bring me one of your kids so we can see what's going on. Because y'all know the students know. If y'all don't know, these kids know everything before it even happened. They know everything that's finna go down, it's about to go down, it's gone down. If you want anything, teachers, you better get messed with some of your kids, period. And so I got a kid from her. So with me, I have 3 kids. I tell them to sit down at the table, I'm gonna be right back. So I walk out the cafeteria with the right behind the other teacher. You know, we looking, we seeing what's going on. I see they take Darian and 2 other kids. I don't know the 2 other kids. They weren't my students. Darian was, but the other 2 weren't. They get in the police car and they gone. One of the boys crying, was like, I ain't even do nothing, and blah 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 blah. Y'all know how it goes. And so they were gone for a hot minute. Like, they were gone. I think once they took them downtown, they had to go to like a juvenile detention center or whatever. And they was trying to press each other to see like who had the drugs, like where they got it from, and blah blah blah. But of course no one told on the other person. Like, the 2 boys didn't tell that Darian was the one who was bringing the Mary Jane to school, and they was selling it, as well as the pills, because he did have, well, the candy, because he was selling candy. But I don't think that they did the candy. I think he just sold those to a group of other students. And so I ain't seen them in about a month. At that point, I'm thinking they've gotten expelled, which would be a logical explanation, which is what should have happened. But it depends on your like principal and what county you're in, and the school board. It's a lot of factors before a kid can get expelled. And I think this was his first offense, so he was able to come back. And I would say it was about a good 2 to 3 months later, we found out that he was actually selling the drugs and not just smoking it. So once he came back, he no longer had the black bag. Mind you, the coach, he couldn't find the black bag. All he did was walk in and still smoking. Where the black bag went this time, no one knows. But he came back about 2 to 3 months later with the little drawstring bag, and he was smelling strongly of weed again. Now when he came, he was gone a month. So like after he went to the juvenile detention center, he was gone for 1 whole month, right? Didn't see him, so we had to like send work to him or whatever, blah blah blah. And after that, like, he would slightly smell like weed, but it wasn't as potent. I don't know if he had like cologne. It smelled as if he had like cologne or perfume, like not perfume, but cologne or something to cover up the stink. A couple months later, he came back with the same black bag, and he was acting very like jittery, very paranoid, very, what's the word? He was acting suspicious. That's the word. Why was that so hard for me to come up with? But he was acting very suspicious, and I noticed, you know, he was having a black bag. So we get back in the group again, me, the coach, and the other teacher or whatever. I'm not sure how I had, no, the gym coach was watching another teacher class, right? So that teacher actually ended up coming back in that day. So I'm not sure how it happened, but the coach ended up catching him and another student like weighing the drugs in the bathroom. Weighing, y'all. Whenever he came back, let's get a coach name. We're gonna call him Coach J. So whenever Coach J came back, he was telling us pretty much what happened. He said that Darian, he had like a scale. You know, whenever you sell Mary Jane or any type of drug, I don't know how it works, but I ain't never did it. I don't want y'all to be looking at me like, oh, how she know, baby? She done did it. But he had some Mary Jane on the thing, and he was out in the open. They didn't try to go in the stall, you know what I'm saying, or nothing. That was at one of the sinks in the bathroom, and he was weighing it on there. And the other dude was like counting the money, getting ready to give to him. And that's what he caught, and that's all he needed to see, baby. He went crazy. He went ballistic. Like, the coach went crazy. Other teachers was like, they heard him screaming and be like, what did you do? I ain't hear nothing. Mind you, I did have a class this time, but I didn't hear nothing. They were on the other end of the hallway. all I heard was the police sirens coming again. After they had called. But he texted us, he was like, he just busted them. Darian's been selling drugs since we had in a black backpack. And I'm like, oh, okay. We knew. I had suspicions. I didn't think he was selling it before y'all come for me. But it was suspicious. Like, I didn't know that he was actually like selling it to people. Like, you gotta have some motherfucking balls to do that. Knowing that we have a security guard that watch you every single morning that you come in, and then y'all know how they randomly bring like the dogs in to like smell your bags. I don't know if y'all ever did that, but even when I was in high school, like we had days, like we had maybe 2 to 3 days out of the school year where they would randomly, let's say if somebody had gave out hints that people were doing drugs or had drugs, they would send in to search dogs, like go through every classroom, let the dogs smell your book bag and all this stuff in order to get the, catch what it is they got. We ain't never have none of that. Which is, now that I look back, like I don't know why they didn't implement that. Like, why didn't the police just go get his guard dog? I don't know what the rules are to that, but that should have definitely been an option. It's just beyond me, man. These kids these days have no respect. Like, even if I'm growing up, now we did have bad kids when I was in school, like, but not no selling drugs in school. That's a different type of level. But like I said, you got 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds out here shooting their teachers, so it's like a devilish world we live in. It's crazy. But after that, the student did go back to juvenile detention center, and he ended up getting expelled, so he was not able to come back to the school. I didn't see Darian after that. I don't know what happened to him. I tried to keep up because that did go on his record, because he was 17, about to turn 18. So I don't know if they had to wait till he turned 18 to do it, but yeah, baby, it was you think we lived straight out of a movie, straight out of Compton. He wasn't a super bad kid, so I felt bad, and word around town was that he was selling it for his dad. So his dad had him selling drugs at school, allegedly. I don't want to be in trouble. I don't want to go to court, none of that, baby. I don't know, none. Let's put that out there. But allegedly, his dad was the one who was making him sell the drugs at school, and that's just very unfortunate because he ruined his son's life before he even started his life. I just feel so bad. Like, I don't know. I hope he's doing well. I hope he like changed his life around and got like away from his dad. I don't know if his mom and dad ended up staying together or like what happened, but hopefully the mom let him go and he's not, because he does have other kids, so like younger kids. So hopefully he didn't teach them that or introduce them to their lifestyle, because you've already, damaged one kid. You can't blame nobody but the parents. You can't blame nobody but the parents, regardless. If your kid acting up, it's on the parents, period. That's it. That's my opinion. To each their own. I know some people may disagree, but if your kid's bad as fuck, it's your problem, you need to do something about it. You need to go to therapy, you need to go to Dr. Phil, you need to sit in the boot camp, you need to do something, because I feel like at a certain point, if you cannot properly raise your kids to be decent fucking people, and I'm not talking about Darian, I'm talking about in general, but if you cannot raise your kids to be decent people and like not curse teachers out and not hit on their fight their teachers and do all this other shit, you need to be locked up. Period. You need to be, because you're unfit. You're unfit as fuck. So go reevaluate your life. And I'm a very blunt and very honest person. Y'all know that about me by now. But you need to go. It's some things that you need to work through mentally, because you're tapped. You're a little dizzy. It's nobody's fault, because you raised that child. You raised that monster, and now it's unfortunate that a lot of teachers have to put up with it, baby. That's why I quit teaching, because I'm not cleaning up nobody else's mess. I ain't doing it. I ain't for it. Teachers, comment down below if you agree, or if you've had any similar. Comment down below your situations with teaching. I actually want to start, like I said, the teacher stories. It's just so much that happens in schools that people have no idea. They think we make up. It's absurd. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, y'all, that's all for this video. I didn't want to get too much details. Because at the end of the day, he's still a kid, even though he was charged, I think, as an adult. When he turned 18, it's unfortunate, and I know it's really not his fault. it's not his fault, but I don't know. You'll be amazed at the quality of parenting that we have these days. That's all I can say. But that's pretty much it for this video, y'all. Comment down below if you are ready for more teacher story times. I'm so excited to be back with the teacher story time, because I know y'all have been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for them. I've just been super busy with my business. Again, be sure to shop LaShay.Greenwood.com. It's in the description box, and use code YouTube. But that's it for this teacher story time, y'all. As I always say, you could have been anywhere but you chose to be here with me, and for that I thank you. Always remember to take it easy and love yours, and I'll catch you in the next one.